to the entertaining Talkin' Sports.
What is going on, football fans? Back at it with another New York Giants video. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. I'll be live in about 2 hours, but I saw a lot of quotes coming out on Twitter because Joe Judge just had a press conference through Zoom with a ton of people from the New York Giants media and had a lot to say and a lot of things we didn't fully know about. He talked in intricate detail about the type of offense that the New York Giants will be running this year. Also talked a little bit about Patrick Graham. He also mentioned Markus Golden. And, the deal there, obviously, we're all waiting to hear about will Markus Golden be a New York Giant, and we'll have to wait and see if a team claims him. But he did talk a little bit about Golden, and he mentioned a few other things about, how the team is dealing with everything that's going on with the pandemic and so on and so forth. There was also a quote that I didn't pull up that he talked about saying that he can't really, he wouldn't tell a player on his team to do something that his child wouldn't do in terms of flying from California to the facility, obviously with what's going on in the world. But yeah, Judge talked a lot about the offense, talked a lot about the defense, also talked about Markus Golden. So I wanted to jump into those quotes and show you guys exactly what Joe Judge had to say. Got these quotes off Twitter from both Dan Salomon as well as Paul Dottino. First quote, Joe Judge said the offense is a collection of what Jason Garrett has done over the years. There are a lot of cousin concepts in every offense. Judge said there is even some crossover to what he heard at Alabama with Nick Saban. So that's pretty interesting there. And I don't know, obviously what he heard from Nick Saban, that has nothing to do with what the offense they run now. So maybe they ran a completely different offense while he was there at Alabama. I'll have to do more research on that. But he's saying it's going to be a collection of Garrett and some of the things he learned while he was at Alabama. So it seems as if he will have some say on the offense that is being run, and he later went on to talk about that. Next thing he had to say, Judge said the offense will be similarly based on what Jason Garrett did in Dallas, but it has to fit their current players. Along with that, it's going to take shape throughout the season. A lot of it will change game to game. They won't be rigid. So, yes, a lot of it's going to have to do with the Air Coryell, which is what Jason Garrett instituted while he was the offensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys. That's what you have to figure will be a big part of this offense. That's what I thought it would be all along. But he's saying we're not going to be rigid. We're going to be flexible. There may be 1 week where we have a completely different offensive game plan. So it's not like Shermer, who brought in this system, or Garrett, who had a system with the Cowboys. Yes, they're going to focus their players and their acquisitions probably around being able to throw vertical passes, but they're going to adjust game in and game out. Next thing, Coach Joe Judge said they are still establishing culture given the circumstances. He said the best part of the day is when everybody is unmuted and talking. It's fun seeing all the personalities emerge. So there he is just talking about the players getting to know each other better and developing a culture, getting to know one another. Next thing, Giants Joe Judge on Graham's defensive scheme. Follow what he did in Miami last year. Will be multiple by game plan, but will incorporate past experiences Judge and Graham have gone through. So to me, that just sounds like it's going to be what Graham had with the Miami Dolphins. Graham has a very flexible defense, much like they have in New England. So that's my take there with that. And he just continues to talk about his familiarity with Graham. Next quote. Judge said he has spoken with Markus Golden, has much respect for him as a player. They have talked about the possibility of adding him to the roster. They have an interest in him. So there you have it. There it is coming right out of the horse's mouth. Joe Judge said today the New York Giants have a definitive interest in bringing Markus Golden back. There's been speculation of whether or not that they do, due to the fact that he may not fit the defensive philosophy and the fact that he may price himself out of the market. The Giants, of course, put that tender on him. So, I think it's July 22nd, a team has an opportunity to give him a big deal. Now, if, a team comes in like the Jets, for example, and they offer him a big deal, being that they need a pass rusher, I don't think the Giants would match it. But within reason, it sounds like the Giants have a lot of interest in Golden, and I do think this is why a deal has not been worked out with Golden. I think Golden wants to stay as a New York Giant, and unless a team blows him away, there's a good chance Markus Golden will be back with the New York Giants. Next thing, Giants Joe Judge. I will be involved with all three sides of the ball. But T-Mac is the special teams coordinator, of course. Somebody must have asked him about the involvement he'll have with special teams, being that he's a former special teams coordinator. And he's saying, listen, I'm going to have say in the offense. I'm going to have say in the defense. I'm also going to have say in the special teams. But my coaches, under me are going to have the final say. I'm going to oversee it, but they're gonna be the ones that are the major contributors with his CEO mentality. Next thing, Joe Judge on potential of empty stadiums. The league will make those decisions. I don't think anybody wants to play in front of empty stadiums. Fans provide the juice, but the players also practice without fans. And at the end of the day, as much as I'm going to hate to see empty stadiums as a New York Giant fan, and it'll be even worse for the coaches and the players, at the end of the day, it's about safety. So can't get on them for that. Next thing. Joe Judge said you can still learn a lot about people in video conferences. You can see how they are set up in their homes. Are they making eye contact? Are they looking down on their phones, etc.? They really can't hide. Roll in a one-in-one box. And he's just talking about, obviously, him picking up body language, things along those nature. Are the players paying attention to everything we're talking about? And he's already starting to judge these players even before they meet in person as they compete to make the final roster. And then finally, a simple quote, but a beautiful one. Joe Judge, there's no shortcut to success. Sounds like it's coming out of my mouth. That's what I've expressed this whole time. This is a process. The Giants aren't going to be able to rebuild in 1 year. They need to continue to put forth hard work, continue to bring in the right players, and to continue to build through the draft. And I'm glad that Joe Judge feels that way. There is no shortcut to success. They have to completely change the culture of this football team, bring in players that they feel fit what they're looking to do. And I think Joe Judge has begun that. But it's going to be a process before the Giants get to where we need them to be. But great stuff there. So very telling stuff regarding the offense, regarding Markus Golden, and we're partially touching on defense and the special teams. As always, guys, if you liked what you watched, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers.